Thanks for tuning in. Thought I would do a little check-in, just show up, talk about some stuff while I'm driving home from work. You know, because I got stuff's on my mind and my heart, like we all do. And it's good to get it out. And it's also good to relate in our stuff, because the more that we open up and talk with people, the more we realize that we're not alone in what we're going through. And also someone's perspective or experience can be helpful. And that's different than ours. And it's good to widen our yeah, so, just going on up ahead here. It's a giant ladder. Wow. So, you know, sometimes it just takes having certain tools and resources to do certain things. You know, it's like, wow, my job's a lot easier now that I have this one simple thing. And in life in general, that's a metaphor for everything. Because with anything that we do, there are things that can be a part of what we're doing that make it easier on us and anyone involved. And I think that more ease and more peace and more flow and more creating, building, breaking down also, you know, there's things that need to be deconstructed, you know, baggage to be unpacked. There's, as much as we are building, it's good to be able to, I don't need this other headphone in. I just do this because of the microphone. It just sounds a little better with that there. So, but yes. The balance and the paradox and the polarity, duality of life. You know, it's so funny in any conversation. You can really just bring it back into balance. You know, it's like, okay, balance between this and that, and maybe they don't need to be opposing and opposite. Maybe they can, these two seemingly opposite different things can contribute or support each other. Can we build a bridge? Can we find a common ground? I like to speak zoomed out, but also it's good to zoom in a little bit. I feel like I look a little tired because I know, not because I am a little bit, and but I feel great. My spirit is full. I feel amazing, but my body is a little tired. So that's what's amazing too, is, you know, we got mind, body, spirit, right? And when one's feeling a little off, you know, the others can come in and balance out the wholeness that we are. Or, you know, we got to intentionally do that sometimes, though, because it's easy for the opposite to happen. We're like, oh, I'm feeling tired physically. Man, mentally I feel awful, and now spiritually I'm disconnected, because it's like, they can either take from each other or contribute to each other. And maybe it's a little bit of both all the time, with what I was just saying. So, you know, there's so much to learn on this wide, wonderful planet. So many things and stuff and ideas and emotions. And, you know, with that, it's like, okay, what's most important and helpful in this moment? For myself as an individual, for you, for all of us in any moment. I'm finding, so this is a big question for you to answer for yourself. What do I need, or what do you need? I feel that what's coming through and coming up most for me is the importance of presence, of being where I am fully, like in my body, embodied in that moment, present with whatever there is. So, you know, even tensions I have in my body, a pain, a discomfort, an emotion, you know, being with that, sitting with it fully, and allowing it to exist without trying to avoid or repress or move too quickly to the next thing. You know, it's like, oh, the future. Oh, we have to do this for the future. I have to go do this, or I'm in the past rethinking about something I cannot change, and it's taking away from my present happiness. It's affecting my future. So, you know, being grounded in the body somatically through, you know, breathing, movement, crying, you know, raging out to some metal music in your car, getting out your anger, your grief, your sadness, like releasing the emotions that may be trapped or stuck in certain parts of your body, which may create an underlying tension or anxiety that you can't put your finger on. And it's like, well, maybe I'm feeling this way because I have suppressed certain emotions that need to come up and out. So I, just sitting with whatever comes up and letting it out, and not even, and ideally, like, not having to create a story out of it. For me, it's hard because I'm like, oh, I feel this feeling, and it's because of this thing, and I want to, like, digest or, break apart and make sense of it and find solutions. And maybe there's not a solution. Maybe there doesn't need to be a solution to your sadness and your aching and your grief. Like, maybe it just needs to exist and be seen and heard and held and witnessed in what it is, which is valid and is necessary and is important to exist. And it's a part, it's part of the spectrum of life that it needs to be honored and felt and observed and witnessed and held. And when we avoid and when we distract and when we repress, or we look at certain emotions as bad or negative or problematic, or then they actually become problematic. That's when they mutate and they fester and they get infected, or that wound gets infected, when it's really just needing a little attention. It's needing to be cleared and cleansed. And that's not always fun to clean a wound. It's kind of painful. You got to get the debris and just get it out, clear out whatever is in that wound, so that the wound can, you can rub a healing salve on it, and some, an herbal infusion of some medicinal healing things. And there's so many different forms of medicine for our wounds, like infinite forms of medicine, because I feel as many of us as there are, like, we each hold a unique wisdom and medicine and thing to share with the world. And so if we just look at everyone and everything as a form of medicine, and you look at your experience as an opportunity to grow and evolve and connect, life becomes a lot more fun and enjoyable and productive, even, there's just, you can see more of the beauty and the growth and development when you're looking for it. And yeah, of course, like, there's a lot of really terrible, awful, tragic, horrific, evil things happening on this planet. You don't need to look very far to find that out. It's all over the news and media, and it's good to be aware. It's good to acknowledge these things exist, and also how much are we consuming that is causing us to be dysregulated and stressed out and fearful and disheartened, or just kind of chipping away at, like, our hope. So I think it's important to be informed and educated to a degree. Not to a degree, but yes, informed and being educated, and also having healthy boundaries with our energy and our time and our mind and our body, so that we're not consuming too much stimuli and information that is causing us to be in a state of despair and sadness and anger. There's a time and place for that. It's really important to feel those things, but I think that we can almost become addicted to certain emotions. We can get addicted to anything. People, and our phones are, I think, the number one thing that most people struggle with. I too. I'm redefining my relationship to technology, and my brain is just wired into it. The dopamine, it's like there's this wow. I feel like that's what I sound like sometimes to some people. Like, wow, you're talking really fast and saying a lot, and I don't know if I definitely have an insecurity or fear that I'm just being a little too much, coming on too strong, too intense, too fast, too blah 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 blah. And maybe for some people it is, and I do want to slow down, and I want to present the best way I can with what I'm trying to share, because I don't want to perpetuate anxiety in people, which I have, that happened before in my closest relationships mostly. Expressing emotions from a grounded, soft, like, sweet, gentle place. Well, and not all emotions, I think it's even possible to express in that way, and I think that's almost like, it could be like spiritual bypassing, or like gaslighting yourself, as if, like, but ideally, like, we get through to people when we express a certain way, the way we present our energy, our tone of voice, the way in which we speak, how fast we speak, the words we use, like everything that we are and say and do impacts and influences everything outside of us. It's a friendly reminder to just be extra mindful of the way in which you're holding yourself, and am I in my heart? Am I open? Am I just being self-aware and questioning, why am I this way? Why am I feeling this way? How do I want to be? How do I want to impact the world? And doing our best to be in alignment with our values and our ethics. And what's I feel more important than beliefs, I don't really need to know what you believe, although I'd like to. I like to know what people believe. But what do you value? What is at the core and heart of you that matters to you? That is so important, and living in alignment with that. Because it's good, theories and ideas are great, but if we're not putting things into action, then it's almost worse than not having any theories or ideas or like intentions, because then you're not following through, and then that's like not the best. I just thought of a scene in a movie called Waking Life by Richard Linklater. Incredible, highly recommend Waking Life. But there's a scene where these activists are speaking these words that are beautiful words and powerful, and they're just like, but they're kind of in an echo chamber with themselves. They're walking in the street and they're saying this, and they're with each other, and they're like, yeah. And then, oh gosh, I forget what even happens in this scene, but I remember, but I don't want to butcher it. But and then they walk past this man who's up in a pole, like he had climbed up this pole, and he's just like stuck up there. He's just, I don't know. And they're like, what's that guy doing up there? And then, so the balance between they're like all action with no theory. Oh my God, what was it? It's just like theory without action is dangerous. Of just the idea of like, yeah, this is great, this would be good, and this is what I want to be and do, and yes. And also, there is things to do to move forward in certain directions, and having discipline and goals and intentions and daily just like check-ins, rituals, for self-care, and all that jazz is so good. And it's funny, now I'm feeling like I'm like preaching over here. I'm like on a soapbox telling people what to do or whatever, and then I get kind of like, oh man, here I am just blabbering about things. But no, I do care about this, and this is important for myself, and maybe someone else out there will resonate or appreciate what I'm saying. Hopefully that would be cool, even just one person. Then this time wasn't wasted in that I'm sitting with myself and unpacking what lives within me, and and yeah, there's a benefit if it's shared, and it is, even just a couple people watch it, and maybe at least feel like less alone in their own thoughts and feelings, maybe, or now they know me more, can understand parts of me and my expression and stuff. So yeah, it's good to check in with oneself, and check in with others, and I want to widen my I keep saying like widen, expand my world and the connections and network and digital world sphere of stuff, and just more connection. And that's what I've been calling in for a bit, is just healthy, authentic connections and relations, and just like I want to oh man, okay. Okay, I can like take a nap, or I can just stay up and go to bed early. I wonder what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna get off this though, because I am getting close to home, and this is very long, and yeah, if you've made it this far, I love to hear feedback from people, like complete, honest, transparent, like I'm seeing this, I'm hearing this and this, or just like a response even of like what maybe came up for you or what you're thinking and feeling. I love to hear feedback. I love to connect. I love to, so I'm open to that, and would love to hear from you. And I'm gonna keep trying to, not keep trying, I am. Do or do not, there is not try. Wow, Yoda. Do or do not, there is no try. I like that because truly, like, and even the words we use in how we speak, it's like, speak it to life. Like, I am doing this. Okay? Yeah, I am going to continue to show up and make maybe a little shorter clips, and I want to have just continue to show up online, and maybe even I don't share these videos really on Facebook or Instagram. I just kind of put them here on YouTube as like a kind of vlog thing, but showing up on these other platforms where I do have more traction or views. Like, I know that more people see my stuff on Instagram and Facebook, but I just don't. I think maybe that, I don't know. It's interesting. My links and stuff are in my bio. Just check it out. I got a website. I got arts and words and photos and a book. I've written a book, and my second one's about to be released. Poetry and little short stories and stuff and things. And people, places, stuff and things. Okay. Well, thank you for watching and listening. I hope that you have a peaceful flow forward and you get some good rest tonight, and wake up refreshed and inspired, and just, a little bit of creating every day is so good. It doesn't need to be shared. It can be. That's a fun practice, is sharing the things you create, but just doing it for yourself, and just like, it doesn't need to be good. It doesn't need to be great. It can just be you releasing and expressing and connecting and doing whatever it is that makes you happy. Like, more of those things, please. All right, that's doctor's orders. Am I doctor? I was going to say I'm not entirely registered doctor, but yeah, I'm not even a witch doctor. I was going to say that, but I can't claim that. I need to get gas. I'm going to go do that right now. So, all right. Okay. Yep. All right. I'll see you later. Gator.